Good evening, everyone. Today is another spectacular day here at Walt Disney World, and today I'm at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. It's funny, since moving to Florida, I have tried to sit in a unique spot. Every time I try and find a spot to sit down and talk with you for a little bit or just kind of relax and look at the sights, I'm always looking for like a new bench, a place I've never been before, and this bench counts. This is a new one. Never sat here before. Today's vlog is a life update. You have asked for me to tell you more about moving to Florida, how I feel about it, how it went, how my feelings are after a certain amount of time. Today is the 8-month anniversary of us moving to Florida together. I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to share these updates with you. That should give you the idea of where this video is going. Moving to Florida. Now, we'll get to all the details. We're going to do all the details, but first off, was it the right decision for me? Yes, it was. There is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that there are positives and negatives to moving to any location. There's no doubt about it, no doubt. Florida, the Orlando area, is no exception. Now, during our last Florida update video, I was telling you about some of the things I loved, some of the things that really surprised me, and some of the things that caught me off guard, to be honest with you, about moving to the Orlando area. Today, I've got some big updates for you. I'm gonna start off with some of the things that I love first, then we're gonna get into those things that really threw me off. Now, I'm gonna do my best not to repeat myself from the earlier video, so the information I share with you today is going to be in some way new or somewhat updated. Of course, love visiting the resorts, no doubt about it. But one part that I didn't really realize that I loved so much was the experiences outside the rides, parks, and all of that. It's the sitting here. Last time I mentioned it, I said, oh, I love visiting the resorts. It goes deeper than that now. No. Now it's this bench. This is my buddy, the bench, and it's just like, you experience those things, and it's like, this is a happy place on a new level. And I've talked about the new level before, I have, but this is another new level. It takes some time to really appreciate all of that. Something else I love is the fact that I get to use my resort refillable mug for much longer. Now, if you're here for a longer stay, then this definitely applies to you as well. But when you live in the area, you can say, okay, mug's still active. I'm gonna go to Disney resorts and I'm gonna refill the mug, get the most use out of it. I can't tell you how many times I've refilled this. One huge positive that I've got to mention, the invitation to the Disney media team. And I would start tearing up in a minute, but I am just truly honored to be able to share these updates with you here in the Orlando area. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything. For Disney to say, Michael, we want you to come and experience it and share it with all of our friends. Yeah, that's a feeling that's hard to beat. It really is. Something that has really shocked me over the past few months here is, I love the rides, love the shows, love the resorts, love it all. Please don't think that I don't. But somehow it's these walking on the sidewalk. It's the things that you don't usually do that I'm liking even more. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't make any sense, Michael. The rides, Mickey, and all these things. Love it. But I think it's the deeper appreciation. I can spend time here on the bench, just smile the whole time. Something else that makes me so happy about living in the Orlando area is being able to see amazing entertainment that's offered all around Walt Disney World and made for kind of longer term experiences. I can sit back and relax, have a great cup of tea right there and just experience any kind of musician or artist and stay for as long as I like. I like that. The no rush experience. One thing that caught me a little bit off guard was the change in my shopping habits. Usually when I'm in Walt Disney World, have a great time, buy things that you really love. Problem is I see tons of things that I love and want to buy, and I've got to be careful. You can't buy everything, so gotta really love it to buy it.
Right, vans and cards.
Something else I love about living in the area is popping on over to your favorite park anytime you want. I love that. I love coming to the parks. I do. I love experiencing the rides, but sometimes when it's a crowded day, I don't feel like standing in a line that's more than maybe, let's say 20 minutes. So I feel like, some friends told me, Michael, when you come to Florida, you'll end up feeling like you can't stand in a line that's more than 20 minutes. Now I know. Now I get it. It makes a lot of sense. But what happens is I come to the park, it's a crowded day, the lines are all longer than 45 minutes, and then I walk around, I have fun, I experience it, I do some dining maybe, and then I make my way out without riding a single ride. Totally unexpected. I'd never thought in a million years I would come to a Disney park and not get on a single ride, but it has happened more than once. Now, I wouldn't call it a negative, just unexpected. And sometimes I have to do a little bit more planning to think about, okay, fast passes for today. I really got out of the habit of booking fast passes at all. Now I gotta get back into that habit. I feel like that's doubly important when it's crowded at Walt Disney World. You gotta have those fast pass reservations just so you don't have to wait in the longer lines. Something else that's really taken me by surprise is the fact that I really don't stay in the parks till fireworks much anymore. Not that I don't like them, please don't think that, not for a moment. I just, you know, it's funny, you don't want to get into the routine of fireworks every single night because then they're not as exciting anymore. Definitely unique to see the fireworks from on top of Astro Orbiter. This is fantastic, wow! Whoa! It's hard to look away, it really, really is. A truly magnificent way to experience the fireworks, and it's so unique. It's amazing, can't stay up here to watch them, but it's truly, truly magnificent to see that. Look at that. That's so cool, a very unique angle. Now let's try and catch one more unique angle. This will be a unique one for me. I've never seen it from the People Mover before. That's so cool! Wow. That's one of those things that makes living here so unique. Could I have caught that on a trip? Maybe, but would I have felt like I had missed the show? A little bit. When I live here, I don't feel that way at all. There she is, right there, little green light. That's staying around. Now back to the topic at hand, living in Florida. I gotta tell you, I have been totally shocked by the crowds. Now you may be saying to yourself, Michael, I know there's no more low crowd season. What are you talking about? No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that we get to experience the crowd levels every single day in the park. So I don't just have to, you know, think about, okay, it's a weekend and it's a 3-day weekend, probably gonna be less people. No, we go out, we experience that, and we see, oh my gosh, a lot of people here during a 3-day weekend. It's a big difference. It shocked me. It really, really did. But very interesting to experience. Now for something that really took me by surprise. The fact that when I go to the same park, day after day after day, maybe like 3 or 4 days in a row, I'll start to feel like, okay, I want to get to something else. I want to do something else. It does not mean by any means that I'm bored of it or I'm not happy with it. It just means that the exact same thing or same park day after day after day does, you know, you feel it. You feel it. That's the big part of it. Is it a negative? No, I don't think so. Just means the variety is important. Hopping around Magic and then, oh, I haven't been to Animal in a long time. Let's get off to Animal. You know, those kind of things. It's important. But the variety of the 4 parks and 2 water parks and Disney Springs and all the resorts is perfect. It's a good variety. Now when we're here together, we get to experience subtle details like, did you know the purple wall is visible from the People Mover? I'm learning new things every day. Take a look at those crowds coming away from Happily Ever After. It's a lot of people making their way over here. Now it's true that repetition, that's something that you want to kind of stay away from. But People Mover, that's an exception to that. And there are plenty of those types of exceptions where it's like, I could do it again and again, no problem. Every single day for a year, it wouldn't be a problem at all. Another big advantage to living here is learning some of those secrets that I could have never learned in any other way. For example, I can come to most attractions during the fireworks and very little wait time. Very, very little wait time. But on top of that, I usually can find fast passes for the attractions right after the fireworks. So for example, Peter Pan's Flight, a very popular fast pass attraction. I've got a fast pass for now, and I booked it just maybe 2 hours ago. That fast. Now I mentioned that repetition can really start to get to you after a little while, you know, same park over and over and over again. But it should be noted. It should be noted that I cannot get enough of Disney. I live for it. I love it so, so much. The thing is, if you know you love it, but the degree is in question. You're not sure. Can I go to Disney weekly or bi-weekly? Would it still be a lot of fun for me? It's something you really, really need to think about, because I know friends who have moved to the area and then after 6 months, it's a lot. It's a lot of Disney. For me, it's never enough. It's never enough, but it's just something that you have to know yourself. It's just a very important point. Something else that I love about living in the area is that we get to go on the rides over and over and over again. And one of the biggest benefits to that is looking for little secret little pieces that you may have missed the first couple times that you rode it. Look at the mermaids right there, relaxing. You can see starfish right next to them. It's great. There's Ariel. Ariel! Super scary pirates right there. They're so scary. He's coming, Captain. He's coming. Love the small details. Love them. And being able to come here more frequently makes those small details easier to see. Speaking of unique perspectives and Peter Pan at the same time. Once upon a time, Peter Pan section, you can fly. So cool. Now there are some things that I miss. I really do miss about living further away from Disney. Biggest one right off the bat having a Disney World vacation. After 8 months of living close by and coming to the parks super frequently, it would take me some time to be away from the parks and then come back and experience that vacation mode. Now, all of that being said, I love staycations where we go to the resorts, we just experience the resorts, and that's part that is a huge benefit to living here, because we go and I can just stay at the resorts the whole time. There is no, no real push to go to the parks because we're here during the other days. We get to experience more of the resorts. So there's both sides of this. It's not just one-sided. Now, something I love about living in the area is that we can be the first to experience those new attractions, new shows, new dining venues, all the new things that come to Disney throughout the year. We can be there first, and I love it. We get that first-hand impression. It's not just when something opens, though, it's when things close as well. We get to say farewell together. We can see it that final day or second to final day and say our goodbyes, and I love that. Now, I gotta be honest, I love to hear those positive stories about how we share the magic together and how it brings you a smile, especially when you need it. That, to me, means so much. And being here more frequently, I get to run into friends who tell me these amazing stories, and I can't begin to tell you how happy that makes me feel each and every day. 8 months. 8 months we've been here together, and I've got to tell you, it's felt like 3. It's felt like 3. Time has flown. It's just because we've been so busy. We've been so busy going around seeing new things, experiencing new things, and just enjoying it. Just enjoying all that Disney and Florida have to offer. There are so many more things that I want to experience with you over the course of the rest of this year and years to come, from the beach and other parks and different updates we're gonna see here at Disney. It's endless, absolutely endless. I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier to be a Florida resident. I don't know why, but moments like this, just like this, are so meaningful to me. So I don't know. You tell me. Please tell me. I have no idea, but I love it. I love it. Now, you may have asked yourself, Michael, how do you know that living in Florida is right for you? Well, every so often, it's so funny, I will just out of nowhere start laughing. Just for no reason that I can think of, but then I think about it and it's like, just like happiness, just glee, just so glad to be here kind of thing. And that's how I know. That's how I know. Now, there is a part of living here that I really don't like, and I'm trying my best every single day to get out of this new habit that I have, and that's letting the real life, worries or real life thoughts start to interfere with the magic. Paying taxes, or a bill that has to be done, or worrying about whatever it is that's causing you to kind of say to yourself, oh, I've got to do this, or oh, I wish this wasn't the case. Whatever that is, it's so hard to kind of disconnect in your mind and say, I'm at Disney, I'm not going to think about that. It's something I've been working on, but it's so tough. It is so tough. I'll answer the phone and it'll be my mom or whatever, and I'll say, I'm on property. So that means, now my family knows when I say I'm on property, it means no, we're not talking about anything that's not magical. That's the best way to put it. If it's magical, I want to talk about it. Let's discuss it. Let's dance to it, whatever it is. But the non-magical things, let's save those until we are off property. That also ties into being on my phone. I've said it before. I'm definitely going to say it again. I am on my phone too much in the parks and in the resorts. I want to stop looking at it. It's so tough to do. I'm sure you are aware too. On vacation, it's a little bit easier because it's like a shorter period of time. But when you're here and you're here frequently, it can be tough to just stop looking at your phone when you're on property, or at least reducing the amount of time you're looking at your phone. Overall, gotta tell you, I love living in the Orlando area, and these past 8 months have been just so magical, and I'm looking forward to the next 8. Gotta tell you, just love it so much. I sure hope you enjoyed this video as we discussed the 8-month update of living in the Orlando area. If you did, let me know in the comments below so we can make more of these in the future. Thanks so much for being a part of the magic with me today. It was so much fun sharing it all with you. Until next time, have a magical day.